5'6". According to the internet, I should be invisible to women, destined to die alone, and probably shouldn't even bother leaving my house. But here's the thing, my height has never been my problem. And after watching Gen Z lose their minds over height for the past few years, I finally figured out what's actually going on. And before you click off thinking this is going to be some motivational Andrew Tate wannabe alpha male grindset video, hear me out on this one, because I'm about to save you years of mental anguish and wasted energy obsessing over something you literally cannot control. I'm 23 years old, I'm 168 centimeters tall, and you know what? That never bothered me. Most of my friends growing up were around the same height. Some of them were like 1 or 2 inches taller. Some of them were 1 or 2 inches shorter. Those shorter guys, they're kinda cooked, maybe. But realistically, we were all just out here living our lives, not measuring each other like we're competing for NBA draft picks. And I think that's the key difference between how I grew up versus how a lot of you younger Gen Z kids are growing up right now. See, back in like 2016 and 2017, Instagram wasn't that big of a deal yet. Like, we mostly used to play games, watch YouTube, and scroll Facebook for memes. Social media wasn't this all-consuming dopamine black hole that it is now. We weren't constantly bombarded with 6'4" guys doing couple TikToks with their girlfriends, captioned "Height Matters," with some brain-rotting song in the background. Now, don't get me wrong, I had the insecurity when I was around maybe 15 or 16. Of course I did. I'm not some enlightened monk who transcended all worldly desires as a teenager. But it wasn't this obsessive, crippling amount of insecurity where I felt like I had to hide in the shadows or couldn't go talk to a girl because I wasn't tall enough. Maybe part of that was because I was an introvert and a gooner, but I wasn't a shy guy. There's a difference, and if you don't know what that difference is, you might want to work on that instead of worrying about your height. Now here's the thing that nobody wants to tell you because it doesn't get engagement on social media. Once you become an adult and you have actual responsibilities, height insecurities become almost non-existent, especially for driven men and women with goals, jobs, or literally anything going on in their lives. Not some man-child who doom scrolls all day on Instagram Reels and gets insecure about height because some 19-year-old girl with 50,000 followers said she only dates guys over 6 feet. Instagram and TikTok made us believe that you must have to be like over 6 feet tall. Otherwise, you die a virgin and live a miserable existence where women cross the street when they see you coming. Brother, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. I have a couple of friends who are like over 6 feet tall with absolutely zero bitches, and they're in their mid-20s now. You know why? Because they're bums. They have the personality of a wet cardboard box and spend 4 hours a day playing League of Legends and complaining about women on Reddit. So you're insecure about your height. Cool. Now tell me this. How do you look in front of a mirror? Do you have a decent body? Are you groomed? Are you sitting at like 12 to 16% body fat with decent muscle mass? Or are you skinny fat with noodle arms? How's your skin? Do you still goon every day like it's your part-time job? Do you eat like shit, consuming nothing but energy drinks, chicken nuggets, and disappointment? Can you actually talk to the opposite gender without fumbling over your words like you're trying to speed run a social interaction? Can you hold a conversation that doesn't revolve around anime, video games, or your crypto portfolio that's down 80%? Are you even interesting enough as a person? Or do you just spend your entire day in your room marinating in your own social anxiety? Can you negotiate deals? Can you lead people? Are you articulate? Can you speak well without saying and like every 3 words? And look, I'm not sure about women's experience with height insecurity because, well, I'm not a woman, but I'm pretty sure height insecurities are not that severe for you guys. Maybe some of you are insecure about being too tall or wanting to be shorter to seem more feminine or whatever. I don't know, and I am sorry for that. The point is the same regardless of gender. You can't control this shit. Yes, if you had bad habits growing up, if your nutrition was terrible, if you didn't sleep 7 to 9 hours every night, if you were stressed all the time, then yeah, by fixing those things, you might reach your genetic potential. But only if you're still in your teen years and your growth plates haven't fused yet. Once those growth plates are fused, you can't do shit. No amount of stretching exercises, supplements, or hanging upside down like a bat is going to make you taller. But here's what absolutely drives me insane. You have a whole spectrum of things you can control, and you're not even doing anything about them. What the fuck, bro? Maybe you are genetically cooked, and let's say you're stuck at 5'4" to like 5'7" or 5'8", okay? And you have total control over how you look, how you talk, how you carry yourself. Get 6-pack abs. Get under 15% body fat if you're a man. Improve your hygiene so you don't smell like shit. Go to the gym regularly. Socialize with actual human beings in real life. Talk to women. The harsh truth that nobody wants to hear is that your height isn't your problem. Your lack of literally everything else is your problem. You're using height as a convenient excuse to avoid confronting the actual issues that are holding you back. It's easier to blame something you can't control than to do the hard work of fixing the things you can. I see these dudes online all the time posting their measurements. I'm 5'9". Is it over for me? Brother, the only thing that's over is your dignity for posting that question in the first place. You think Henry Cavill got cast as Superman because he was tall? I mean, yeah, it helped, but the man also has a face chiseled by the gods and a physique that makes Greek statues jealous. You think Tom Cruise doesn't get roles because he's 5'7"? The man is a global megastar worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And before someone says, but those are celebrities, they have money and fame. Yeah, no shit, that's literally the point. They focused on what they could control and maximized it instead of sitting around crying about their height on Reddit forums. Look, I get it. We live in a world where everyone's highlight reel is on display 24/7. You see these couples online and the guy is always tall, jacked, has a perfect jawline, and you compare yourself to that. But that's the equivalent of watching professional athletes. They're not the standard, they're the exception. The average relationship isn't some 6'4" Greek god with his 5'2" Instagram model girlfriend. It's two regular people who found each other tolerable enough to not want to murder each other after spending extended periods of time together. That's it. You know what's actually attractive? Confidence. And I don't mean the fake alpha male toxic confidence where you're constantly trying to prove something. I mean the quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are, what you bring to the table, and not apologizing for your existence. You can't develop that confidence by obsessing over your height. You develop it by accomplishing things, failing at things, learning from those failures, and becoming a more complete person. Here's my challenge to everyone watching this who's insecure about their height. For the next 90 days, I want you to completely ignore your height. Don't measure yourself. Don't look up height statistics. Don't watch content about height. Instead, focus on literally anything else. Join a gym, learn a new skill, read some books, touch grass, talk to people, build something, create something, become interesting. I guarantee you that by the end of those 90 days, your height will be the last thing on your mind because you'll have actual accomplishments and experiences to think about. Or maybe you won't, and you'll go right back to measuring yourself against your doorframe like a psychopath. But at least you'll have tried something different instead of continuing to drive yourself insane over something that doesn't matter as much as you think it does. The world really did change after quarantine, didn't it? Like, I swear, everything just became so much more expensive, so much more competitive, so much more exhausting. Every hobby is hard to start now. Everything requires you to be the best, or you might as well not even try. Just look at what happened to dating. It's become this hyper-competitive marketplace where everyone's trying to optimize their stats like they're creating a video game character. But maybe that's exactly why focusing on your height is so appealing. It's simple. It's binary. You're either tall or you're not. It's easier to blame your height than to confront the complex reality that maybe you need to work on your personality, your social skills, your career, your health, your hygiene, and about 47 other things that actually matter. So yeah, that's it. That's my opinion about Gen Z's height insecurity. I'm not saying height doesn't matter at all. In some contexts, it obviously does. But it matters way less than you think, and certainly way less than the other things you're completely ignoring while you obsess over something you can't change.